Hey guys, welcome back to From the Sidelines. I'm Cullen Mack here with me all the way from, is that New York? Are you in New York right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Live from Queens.
I'm over here in Chavez Ravine. I'm gearing up for opening day for the MLB baseball season. As you can tell, we're both pretty excited. We both have on our jerseys. Who are you wearing right now? Show it off on the camera.
I got Francisco Lindor.
I like it. I like it. Nice. I got Ohtani on.
Oh.
Oh, no O's. We're not talking about that.
Oh, for Ohtani.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, before we get into all of that, let's start off with the biggest thing going on in this month. It is March. So that means there's some madness going on for sure. The second round of the NCAA tournament just took place. And after a first round where we thought things couldn't even get more exciting, they did. The big one, we saw number 14 Oakland go down to number 11 NC State in overtime. So unfortunately, the NCAA legend of Jack Golke will no longer progress.
Yeah, I mean, he did his NIT deals as he was playing.
Yeah.
He was doing commercials for companies in the middle of March. I give the guy a lot of credit. Jack Golke, he's for the people. And Eric Spoelstra, he's got his eye on him for sure. He doesn't have Max Strus anymore, but Jack Golke looks like Max Strus.
Yeah, you got to rub your eyes a little bit on that one. Did you see this guy's warm-up routine? They released it. I think they said
No.
he takes 500 shots when he first gets to the gym, just like slow at his pace. Then he does the team practice, and we don't know how many shots he takes during team practice. Then after team practice, he takes 250 game speed three-pointers.
So that explains why he shoots like his back is broken.
Yeah, I mean this guy, he's a salty pro. This guy's putting up at least 750 shots before every game. No wonder they're going in like crazy.
Yeah, but he said we're not a Cinderella. Well, buddy, it ended. So
It ended.
you know what? I don't think anyone saw you beat in Kentucky. Let's be honest. There's been some big news in the MLB. Other than that, opening day is tomorrow. So hence the reason we're wearing these threads. And trust me, we're not wearing Fanatics jerseys. We would never, right, Cullen?
Never. This is authentic Nike brand fanatics.
Blake Snell signed to a 2-year, $62 million deal. Now do the math. That's $30 million a year. That
31
is
actually. Do the
okay. Well, still,
yeah.
that's two. You can buy buy two mansions in Los Angeles with 30 million. So double that. I mean, I'm not gonna pocket watch, but he deserves it. You know, I have people saying, why did he won two Cy Youngs? That's why he got it. He won in the National League and the American League. So he doesn't have problem throwing to either league. That's why he got the $60 million.
Best of luck to Blake Snell with the Giants.
The next person I'm going to talk about is Jordan Montgomery, who just signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks for 1 year, $25 million, also a lefty. And if you're Arizona and you can't beat him, then let him join you. I don't think that's how the expression goes, but in this case, Jordan Montgomery beats the Diamondbacks in the World Series last year, and now he's on their bump.
If he beats you, steal him from the other team. I don't know how
Oh,
we
speaking
rework
of
this.
steel, mind
Oh,
if we talk about Ohtani for a little bit?
yeah, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter this week was accused of stealing lots of money from him. And basically, the guy has a serious gambling problem. And all this other stuff started to come out about him. He was reported to have attended UCR for schooling, University of California, Riverside. Woo, go Highlanders.
Colin
Represent.
McCarthy represent.
Oh yeah, baby, go Highlanders. And then he
Yeah.
also said that he worked for the Boston Red Sox, but representatives from both UCR and the Boston Red Sox said that they have no record of this guy anywhere on their system.
If it's, just going to the casino, throwing some slots in the machine, whatever floats your boat, like Michael Jordan was a gambler. But if he's betting on baseball, then you're ruining the integrity of the game. And if this translator's just the guy who's your fall guy, that's huge, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation. Is he the fall guy? Is he not? We don't know. All I know is that Pete Rose said that he wished he had an interpreter back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, in a brighter note, the NBA season is starting to come to a close. It's almost time for the playoffs. So heading into the playoffs, I wanted to look at some of the teams with a lot of big names on them, and I wonder if you could rank these teams for me. All right. Specifically, trios. So we have your team, the Clippers, with Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden. We have the Bucks with Giannis, Dame Lillard, and Chris Middleton. We have the Suns' big three with KD, D Book, and Bradley Beal. And the Celtics, this one, you have Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go Kristaps or Drew Holiday, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to say Kristaps as the third guy on the team. So even though I really think they're a big four, but if you could rank those teams in order of best big three, be my guest, please.
I think I'll go least to best.
Okay, okay,
Clippers are the least.
really.
James Harden is, he still looks like he's got chicken wings and, the club mindset. I mean, yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. Where we're at right now, if we're talking about trios and gelling, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and James Harden are at the bottom of that list. They just don't have that dog mentality. Next, you want to talk about people who don't have that dog mentality? Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. That's a hot take. As soon as I said that, I knew that was a hot take. Look, on paper, they might be number one, but when they're with a team of two other guys on their team, there's only one ball, and we've seen them start to gel, especially with Beal in the lineup, but who knows? That's why I only have them at 3. And then 2, I'm going to go the Bucks. Now, Giannis and Dame together is probably the scariest duo in the league. But then you got Chris Middleton, who's a great shooter, but not much else outside of that at this point, which leads me to my number 1. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, 2 of the greatest forwards in the game right now on the same team. And then you have Kristaps. And if you know how the Celtics are the best trio, we're trying to figure out what third person would fit. That's how good they are. They have a quadruple. They have what is it? They have a foursome. I'd like to hear your thoughts,
Oh, the
honestly.
Celtics are not having a foursome. This is we're gonna scrap that part out of the show.
Yeah, we'll probably scrap that for sure. I'd like to hear your thoughts, your perspective on these 4, where
Yeah.
you feel.
It's kind of interesting to hear you rank the Clippers at the bottom. See, for me, I think the Celtics are number 1 up top there. I'm gonna put the Clippers number 2, to be honest with you. I think the Clippers are great. I think healthy. I don't know how you beat these guys, especially now that Russell Westbrook has returned to the lineup. He's coming back. He's healthy now, and he was such a big part of their success early in the season. And when he left the team with his
Hell,
hand injury, I mean,
how do you beat them?
they
How do
kind
you
of
beat
fell
them?
apart.
How do you beat them? Just ask the Hawks without Trae Young. Just ask the 76ers without Joel Embiid. They
Hey,
had
the
no
Hawks
problem
the
beating them.
Hawks beat the Celtics the other night. They came back down from like 30. Well, anyway, I think it's Celtics 1, Clippers 2. I'm gonna go Bucks 3, Suns last, just because they've been so inconsistent with their injuries. I mean, talking about getting those guys to gel, those guys have not had a lot of time to all 3 play together, and that's kind of been the story. What it seems like for these Kevin Durant super teams these past couple of years, especially when he was in Brooklyn, you couldn't get him, Kyrie, and James Harden all on the floor at the same time, which I think ultimately led to the downfall and crumble of the Brooklyn Nets trio.
I saw something on the internet regarding Jaylen Brown making that $304 million contract. And that was the largest contract in the NBA to this
Largest
point.
contract in NBA history.
Guess who's eligible for a contract? Jason Tatum.
Yeah, the best guy on the team is eligible for a contract bigger than him. Shout out to Clutch Points for this one. I know Clutch Points on Instagram. I know you follow Clutch Points. They are very clutch with giving us some, NBA news and some stats. This is going to be really tough for the Celtics. They're going to be in a tough situation, this upcoming year or so. What are they going to do?
This is what's going to happen. You're going to have 2 players worth a combined $600 million, and everything else will just trickle.
So everyone else is going to be signed to
Yeah.
league minimums. Besides,
And
these 2 guys will have 10-day G League contracts. You have to pay them the money. So I don't know what you're going to do for the future of the NBA and seeing just kind of where the cap's going and everything. You can't have these 2 guys making this much money, especially if you're not winning championships.
so there has been an incident in the NFL. I call it the Ayuk Lynch scuffle. It was reported thanks to NFL on CBS John Lynch, the saying at the NFL owners meetings, we want Ayuk to be a part of the Niners, so we're going to work towards making that a reality. Couple minutes later, maybe an hour, Brandon Ayuk posts on his Instagram story, $ person talking, bowl, poop emoji, walking, which I think stands for money talks, bull walks. How do you feel about that, Cullen?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough dealing with the business of football. I mean, just any sports when it comes down to the money. These guys like Brandon Ayuk have these career years. They go out and they put, their body on the line week in and week out, and they just want to get paid. We just talked about a cap situation. The Niners have a lot of money in a lot of different places and a lot of guys that are about to either make big money or that are currently making big money. It's going to be a tough situation. I think they're probably going to end up trading him and seeing what value they can get and probably look in the draft for his replacement.
It was reported that my favorite cornerback, L'Jarius Sneed, let's pop up the Instagram DM where he called me champ. Yeah, that really made my day. But he was traded to the Titans for a third round pick and a seventh round swap. All right, you gave up $19 million. That's the best part of the deal. The worst part, you lost an all pro cornerback who put people on clamps in the playoffs like Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, Deebo Samuel, etc. So what do you think you're doing, Chiefs? You're just going to find another L'Jarius Sneed in the fourth round? Well, probably yes, because that's where he was drafted.
I think they're going to be just fine without him. I mean, we say this every single year. It's always, oh, but they don't have this guy. It doesn't matter who they have. It doesn't matter who they don't have. I feel like if Patrick Mahomes was a WWE wrestler, he'd be The Rock. So what people would talk to him, he'd be like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you think.
What do you think about the Rams signing Tre'Davious White to a 1-year, $10 million deal?
I actually love this move because the Rams are in desperate need of a cornerback. They were talking about going to the draft to get one. I think they probably will still get one in the draft just to have since, Trey White's only on this 1-year deal. But, you bring a solid veteran in to be a leader for these guys on defense, a guy who's proven time and time again, bearing his injuries as of late, that he's an all-pro in this league and he can be a shutdown corner when he's fully healthy. And great move by the Rams. I love it.
In other news, the NFL has decided to ban the hip drop tackle. How do you feel about the hip drop tackle being banned? And also, how do you feel about the new kickoff rules?
You see, I mean, every time they change these rules, I understand why they do it. The ultimate goal is player safety, and these are all things that are part of the game of football. And I mean, at this point, by 2025, 2026, we're just going to have NFL flag football if we keep changing these rules.
Everything you're saying is right. But to finish off the segment, looking into next year of the NFL, I want you to do everyone a favor and rank these wide receiver duos. Can you do that for me?
I can do that.
All right,
I
man.
can do that.
So starting with the Jets, which
All
we
right.
didn't mention, the Mike Williams signing, 1 year, $15 million. I love that. As a Jets fan, I love that. So Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson. We've got Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy
Okay.
for the Browns. We've got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua for the Rams. And then Rashee Rice and the new Marquise Brown on the Chiefs. Where would you rank those four from worst to best?
All right. Well, I'm going to put Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper on the bottom. I like the Browns. I like Amari Cooper, but I don't think Jerry Jeudy's that guy.
I'm the guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
So I'm going to put them as number 4. I'm going to put Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua as number 1 because those guys are dogs. And especially when Cooper Kupp is healthy, especially after his injury, and I don't think he was 100% last year, to be honest with you. So now that he's had a full off season, to see those two guys come into action is going to be crazy. They're definitely the best duo in the NFL.
This next decision, you better be careful with. You're affecting my friendship if whatever you choose.
All right. So because we're friends, and this is the only reason why I'm saying this, I will say, yeah, I'll go Jets number 2. Why not? Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. You got a big boy, Mike Will, who can just go up and grab anything. And Garrett Wilson's just a great receiver. On the Chiefs,
You know what it is?
Rice and
Mike
Marquise.
Williams. I hate to interrupt you. Mike Williams is what we thought Alan Lazard was going to be last year.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely what it's going to be. Just a guy, a big deep threat receiver. All right, well, I just ranked some receivers. How about you rank some running backs real quick?
I would love to. I would love to.
All right, ready? Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs.
Nick Chubb 5. Oh no. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa.
whoa. Nick Chubb 5. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I've already disagree with your ranking.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Josh Jacobs 5.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley 4. Nick Chubb 3. Derrick Henry 2. Christian McCaffrey 1.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Perfect rankings.
Well, it's
Great
been
job.
a great episode, Cullen.
It has been a great episode.
I'd also like to thank Pro Football Focus for following me on the gram and let you know we're using those photos, and also 358 Baseball for following me on the gram. We'll give you a little love with your photos as well. So thank you guys.
I'm Cullen Mack. He's Daniel Dimaggio. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys.